Hey guys, welcome back to Walk in Your Worth. If you are new here, first of all, hi. Second, if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit this video a thumbs up or a like. Um, Sorry guys, my mind's a little jumbled. I have a lot to say, so I'm going to try to make this quickly and as possible as I can quickly. Um, and then go ahead and hit that notification bell so that way you don't miss anything that I put out here for content. Definitely don't want to miss this stuff. Again, sorry, I'm really tired, but I'm pushing through and I'm getting this out, so just bear with me. Okay, thank you. All right, so for those of you who don't know, we are doing an 8 video series, and it's what to do after being raped. Now what? And there are 8 different parts to this, and we are on part number 5. And that is, a lot of you guys are going to freak out when you hear what I have to say, but this is why I have healed. This is why I have come as far as I have, because I've been able to do this step, and it's not easy. It is easier said than done. Trust me, this is not an overnight thing. This is probably going to take you weeks, months, years, depending on how much of a grudge you hold and how much you hold on to hate and anger and bitterness. So a lot of it depends on you. But this step, number 5, really is a requirement with God when it comes to, not just in your own self having healing, but also for you to feel more freedom and for you to move forward. If you don't do this step, you're not going to be able to move forward. You're going to stay stuck right where you're at, and that's not where you want to be. Okay? Being stuck in bitterness, being stuck in the past, being stuck in always, fear and just wondering, am I ever going to get past this or through this? The answer is you can. It's just you're going to have to work on it, okay? So, don't hate me. If you don't want to try it, that's your own choice, but I'm going to tell you right now, if everything else hasn't been working for you, then you might as well give this a shot, because I can tell you right now, for someone who has completely healed from rape, this is a requirement. It's not easy, it's uncomfortable, and you may even not want to do it, but if you don't do it, then you're not going to get healed in the right way. So, number 5 is forgive your rapist, and also forgive yourself. See, it's easy to forgive yourself. It's not easy to forgive the person who wronged you, especially when this is a crime, this is violence, this is something held against your will. This is someone who did something to you, whether you were, conscious or not. You may have told them no, and they did it anyways against your will. You're probably thinking, Miranda, why in the world why would I do that? Why would I forgive my rapist? Well, as I just told you a little bit ago, if you don't do this step, you're going to be stuck right where you're at. And you're in a place of tension. You're in a place of you want to move forward, and you've pretty much come to a point where you've accepted what has happened to you, and maybe you're doing therapy. Maybe you've actually are at the point where you can begin to talk to people a little bit, just a few people about it. Nothing like major like what I'm doing, where you're just like on a platform. If you are able to do that, like I said, then God's moving you right along. But somewhere down the line, you had to have done this step, which is forgive your rapist and forgive yourself. If you forgive yourself, even that's not easy to do, but it's something that you're more willing to do. So with God, he wants you to make your amends as you go along. And this is with anyone or anything. But when it comes to being raped, it's not very easy to forgive someone, because I'll be honest, for me, what I wanted to do originally, after, within the first month of being raped, I wanted to go shoot this guy. Like that, I'm just going to tell you that right now. I was going to go grab a gun. I didn't care if I was going to face prison time. I was going to shoot this guy. Like I was just livid. Like I was just like, I can't believe this happened. I told you no 3 times and you still did what you wanted to do. So guess what? I'm going to do what I want to do, and that's to pretty much hurt you. And God's like, no, we're not going to do that. So a family member had convinced me, who I had talked to about the ordeal, somehow had convinced me to not go that route and to get the idea out of my head, let it go, and move forward. And it just felt like it wasn't fair. It felt like, he's going to walk out and get to do whatever the heck he wants. He could do this to a whole nother girl. And, I just have to sit here and take it. Like, I just have to take this pain. I have to take the guilt. I have to take the shame. I have to take my life being flipped upside down just because some guy couldn't control himself. And it was like, it was really, really hard to do. But, that was within the first few months of the first year that I thought like that. And, God is in the business of renewing your mind. So he's going to help you pull this off. Like, you're not going to be able to do this without God. That's why I'm trying to tell you. It is a requirement if you are following God, if you believe in God, or if you love God. God does basically give us a command to forgive one another, to love one another as ourselves. So even though your rapist didn't obviously love you as himself and he took advantage and did whatever he wanted to do, this is where you are not the rapist. You are not that person. You are better. You are higher. You are beautiful. You are amazing. And when I say better, I don't mean you're better than your rapist as far as like, on a scale, which a lot of you guys might not agree with me with, but I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, sin is sin. This man chose to rape you. You may have lied to someone. And you're thinking, well, a lie is nothing compared to being raped. And it's like, in our eyes, in the world's eyes, no. But in God's eyes, sin is sin. Meaning, majority of sin is a level evil. I can't even talk. All evil is a level playing field. Meaning, if you do wrong, you're in the wrong. It doesn't matter what kind of wrong you did, you're in the wrong. And also because some rapists do regret what they did. And they're obviously not going to open up to you about it. They're not going to talk to you about it. If they do, it's because God's convicting them so hardcore that they can't take it anymore. They're going to have to come up and apologize to you, or they're going to have to try to work it out. Majority of them will not, because they don't care and they think they're not in the wrong and they think they're getting away with something. But God calls his children, he calls, us women, men, but children of God, he calls us to represent him and be like him. So if you don't forgive yourself, if you don't forgive your rapist, then that means you're not in the business of forgiveness. God is. So if you want to move forward, if you want to heal, this is a step you're going to have to take. You do not have to take it all in one day. Obviously, that's not going to work. Like, that's not realistic. It's not going to happen like that. It took me 4 years just to even say the word rape without breaking down or having some kind of PTSD moment. So trust me. But again, I didn't do therapy right away, and I didn't do all these steps in the order that I should have done them right away. I waited way too long. So that's why if I could go back and if I could do these steps, I would have done them way sooner rather than later. So for you guys, again, I'm not being hypocritical. I'm just telling you that I did all of these things, yes. I just did them later. So that's why for you guys, I can help you speed it up. If you really want to get where you're going, if you want to get to healing, if you want to be closer with God, if you want to attract a healthy relationship that will lead to a marriage one day, this is part of it, because this is baggage. If you don't, this is your hate, this is your bitterness, this is your, I can't stand this person. God says no, it's got to go. If you're going to follow him, if you're going to want healing, you have to take your cares and burdens and cast them on God. So not only are you going to do that, but you also need to show forgiveness. And that is what's really hard, is because God forgave you and he forgave me. But the only way for us to be forgiven is for us to forgive others. If we forgive, I think I did this in the other video. I could be wrong, but basically, let me find it. I don't know if I actually have it on here. Sorry guys if you're seeing the garage. My brother's sleeping, so I'm trying to be in here and be a little quiet, but I talk kind of loud, so I don't know. I might wake him up. Basically, I don't have it written down in the last one. I don't know where it's at, but it's talking about, if God wants us to be forgiven, we have to forgive each other and ourselves. And we have to take this to God. Like God will literally tell you, Like if you were in person with him and you were asking for forgiveness for your sins, for something that wasn't rape related as far as like to your situation, it was just that little lie you told, or something that happened earlier that day, and you're thinking, God, please forgive me of my sins. You know, I'm not as bad as my rapist and I didn't do this. But yet you have so much anger and bitterness toward and hate towards that person because they did do you wrong. God's going to tell you, like, you know, if it was face to face, he would say, leave your sacrifice or leave your little, you know, gift there and go mend that. Like, go make that right. Go make that better. Go forgive that person and then come back to me and ask me to be forgiven. So I'm not trying to confuse anyone, but basically, if you haven't caught on yet, forgiveness is a huge, huge step in healing, and forgiveness is very, very, you know, important to God. It's not so much for you to forget what this person did to you. It's more so that you can have divine healing to where this person's not going to affect you anymore. They already did the worst thing imaginable by doing you wrong and going against your will and putting you through so much stress and pain and horror. So now that that event is done and over with, now it's time to heal. And in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it's talking about there's a time for everything. You know, there's a time to be sad and a time to be happy. There's a time to do something quickly and a time to be slow. There's a time for everything. And if you guys want to know more about that, you're just going to have to read that yourself, because thank you, Holy Spirit, that just came to me. That was not part of this video. That wasn't part of what I had planned to write down, but it does go along with it. I did pray to God before getting on this video, so hopefully this will make sense to you. Hopefully this will resonate with you, and hopefully this will just really give you some true insight and match up to what, you know, you're going through, so that it makes it easier. Because again, not everyone's on all of these steps. You guys are going to be on different steps. Some of you guys just got raped. Some of you guys have never been raped, and you're just curious to figure out, well, what if, you know, that happened to me? What would I do? And then there's people like, you know, me, that, well, there's people like you guys that are watching that could be like me, where you had been raped years ago, but if you haven't really built a real relationship with Christ, if you haven't taken the proper steps towards healing, done the therapy, done the work, if you haven't done all this stuff, then you're basically still stuck. And that's where obviously you wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't want to be unstuck. So anyways, I'm going to jump into it. But number 5 is forgive your rapist, and also to forgive yourself. So again, this comes later in the journey, towards the end, towards the middle/end, somewhere in there. So I'm just going to read this. That way I can get this video out. So I'm probably going to be looking down because I just want to make sure I get this out, okay? All right, so forgive your rapist or yourself. This comes later, towards the end of the journey. Even if he doesn't ask you to be forgiven, forgive him anyways. Forgive him as if he had asked you, as if he had said he was sorry. Forgive him because Christ forgave you for your mistakes. Forgive him so the anger, sadness, bitterness, and hate doesn't rot your heart. Forgive him to help you let go of the pain he caused you. Forgive him so you can have peace in your soul. Forgive him so your past will no longer torment you. Forgive him so you can finally begin moving forward. No, you will not forget what he did. But healing does come. It always comes. And then this is why. Why should you be doing this? The path to healing involves forgiveness. So forgive him for making a huge mistake. And lastly, forgive yourself for not knowing then what you know now. Forgive yourself for whatever mistakes you made that led up to that point in your life. Forgive yourself for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And for some of you, maybe it was the right place, like me. I thought it was the wrong place at the wrong time at one point. But being able to be on here and teaching you guys how to overcome this, God had a plan and a purpose for it. So it turns out being raped ended up being one of the best things that happened to me. Oh, shocking. Hard to say that. Like I said, whatever your purpose is, God maybe wants to use this for good. You know, Romans 8:28, he wants to take the bad that someone meant towards you and turn it to good for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. God's working everything good out, bad or anything bad, anything good. He's turning it to good. So lemons into lemonade. Forgive yourself because you didn't know that was going to take place or going to happen until it did. Whether you were raped once or more than once, meaning whether you were raped just one time by like date rape, like someone like a friend or a coworker or someone that you were in a friend circle with, whether it be done one time to you, or if it happened more than once, meaning maybe this person is the same person, but they had raped you multiple times, different occasions, or even if it's just you had been raped, one time 1 year and one time another year, or if you've been raped, like me, I got raped twice in 2016. So it was 2 different men. So it can happen multiple times. And that is why I'm stressing to you how to handle this situation, because if you don't want it to repeat, if you don't want to be scared of the future and be tormented by your past, the only way you're going to overcome this is to have God on your side and to have a relationship with him, to have your mind renewed, and also to forgive, so that, and take the lessons learned and apply it and really, just walk in your worth with it, and that's why I called it that. But anyways, I'm going to jump back into this. So forgive yourself for not understanding the full patterns, mindsets, and behaviors you had that kept getting you into the same mess. Forgive yourself for having a lack of knowledge. You didn't understand that some of your behaviors and the way you thought or the way that you reacted to men could have caused some of this on. I'm not saying it's entirely your fault, but what I'm saying is there is a personal responsibility and accountability that the woman does play. If you know you shouldn't be out in an alleyway or at a party or a club or anything like that at 2 a.m., because especially if it's in a dangerous part of town, and you go there anyways because you want to have fun, that's what I'm saying. It's all fun until it's not. It's all fun until you get raped. It's all fun until your life gets flipped upside down. And this is where, once you feel like you're ready to go out and have fun again, change your fun. Fun does not always mean going to the bar or, hanging out with guys or talking to everyone on a dating app. Okay, fun can be something you do during the daytime, daylight. It can be something that you do with family or friends. I know that for me, I instantly shot back to just hanging out with certain family members and friends. At that point, I kind of cut off everyone that I cut off myself from basically being mischievous and having the mentality of I'll hang out with anyone, anywhere, anytime. And if you have that mentality, that's what led me to that. That's what partially led to me getting raped. That was one of the reasons. It's not the full reason. Own up. If you were in places that you shouldn't have been, and when people warned you to stay away from certain people, or people warned you to stay away from certain places, or when people told you if you don't slow down with your life, if you don't make better choices, something's going to happen. Guess what? It did. So now you're thinking, now what? What am I supposed to do? Well, next step is allow God to take care of the rest. You forgive your rapist, you forgive yourself, you're doing therapy, you are, you've reported things that you could have, and you are basically, you took some time to kind of evaluate a little bit. So now all that's left after this, is God will fix you. He will bring you to full restoration. Again, this is all going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight or 1 week or 1 month. This is going to be a process, a journey. Okay. It's a marathon. You're going to take your time with this, and you're going to do it right. So God will fix you. He will bring you to full restoration. He's going to give you a new life. He's going to give you a renewed mindset. So the way that you think and the way that you react or perceive things is going to be different. It's going to be better, wiser. It's going to be just all around better. He's going to give you peace that the world can't give you. He's going to strengthen you. God will heal you from the inside out, from your childhood into your adulthood. Never leave you nor forsake you. So that means while you're doing the therapy, while you're reading, scriptures out of the Bible, while you're praying, while you are evaluating yourself, while you are being open to God and you're allowing different circumstances to take place and you're allowing God to shift things in your life, even though you don't like the changes and you know that you have to do things better and do things differently, God is going to heal you literally from the inside out from any diseases, any sickness, all that stuff. He cured me from an STD that was uncurable, so I can vouch for that. And also, we're not doing that today in this video. I'm just letting you know it is possible. Anything is truly possible with God. It really is. But God can heal you from diseases, sickness, illnesses, curses. He can heal you literally on the inside of your body and out. And not to mention, from your childhood into your adulthood. If you were traumatized as a child, if you dealt with molestation, I didn't. But if you had, God, it could lead to your promiscuous behavior. God can heal you from that. He can turn that around for you. For those of you who just, maybe your parents ignored you a lot, and so you were, attention seeking, and you found it in all the wrong areas, and it led to you getting raped. So, you just wanted love, and this guy just wanted a good time for one night, and you said no, and guess what? He did it anyways. So, that right there, that's what I'm saying is, God is going to not just heal you from the inside out. He's going to heal you from your past childhood all the way up to where you are currently at today in your adulthood. And he's never going to leave you nor forsake you. That's a promise. God, you can't outrun God. You can't hide from God. You can't get away from God. God created you. He loves you. He knows your every move, your every thought. He knows how many hairs that you have on your head. He knows you. Okay? So just come to terms to accept it, because you can't out hide or outrun from God. So, it's a good thing. It means that he's literally always there. He's going to show you the hidden things. That's Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 3. He's going to show you great, if you ask him, call unto him, ask him, and he'll show you great and hidden things. Ask him, God, why did this man rape me? Ask him, what did I do to deserve this? Why am I being punished? Are you teaching me a lesson? If you already believe in God and this happened to you, and you already know Romans 8:28, then just say, God, I don't understand any of this. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. But, thank you for... Tell him thank you. If you can, say thank you, Lord, for giving me an opportunity to heal from this, learn from this, and, to level me up so that I can help someone else with this someday. Right now I'm on my healing journey, but, I'll get there too, and again, you may not get to that point right now, but later down the road you will, if you allow it. God's going to, show you the hidden things. He's going to show you what happened and why it happened. He's going to fill in the gaps. He's going to connect your dots. He's going to help you put the pieces together. And it's all going to lead into something bigger than you. It's going to be your purpose. This is going to benefit you. It's going to give glory to God. You're going to help and make an impact and help other people's change other people's lives. You're going to help them because you're going to be able to know and relate to what they went through and how they feel. And you can help someone else, kind of like what I'm doing right now. Maybe not online if you're, not on that level. And I don't mean bad way. I just mean if you're not there yet, if you just don't feel comfortable to be on that level of publicly speaking about what happened to you. I respect that because, like I said, I've been there. It took me, I got raped in 2016 twice, 2 different men, and guys, it's 2022 and I didn't even start really speaking about this until 2021. So it is hard. It is, but you can get there, and it will happen for you if you allow it and you allow God to do and work in your life and in your heart the way that he wants to. He will make it happen. And then, God will get revenge on those who did you wrong. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to go shoot this person. You don't need to blast them on Facebook. Even if you know who it is, you don't need to humiliate them just because they humiliated you. You may want to, you may feel the need to, you may think that they deserve it, and they probably do. But guess what? There's a lot of things that you deserve that God didn't do to you. You know, he showed you mercy. So you can show this person a little bit of mercy, and keep your dignity at the same time, and continue to work better or at getting better in your life and on yourself. And while you're doing that, without you knowing, God's going to go back to that person and he's going to take care of business. He's going to let that person know they done messed up. And there's going to be no way that they can't deny it. More than likely, this person it's going to be brought to their attention. They know that their life sucks and their life is in agony because of what they did, and who they did it to. God's going to bring your name and your face to that person's mind. So they will not get away with it. It looks and feels that way, but it will not. For some people, they will go to prison. For other people, jail. For other people, they will have family members or have, girlfriends or children or whatever leave them because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. And it's like, God exposes everything, okay? So leave the revenge to God. He'll take care of it. And he can always do it way better than you can anyways. If you don't believe me, well, you're just going to have to find out for yourself because it's true. So God's going to make it right. He's a justice God. He's going to make it right. Okay? Because what that person did to you was wrong. And they're not going to get away with it. It may not be immediately, but this person, when it catches up to them and God has an appointed time for this person to face the wrath and to go through whatever it is that God feels that seems fit for this person to be disciplined or punished, that's what's going to happen. This person, they have it coming. It doesn't mean you should be, joyful about it. God doesn't want you, he wants you to still have a good heart even when you do find out that this person had something horrible happen to them. He wants you to pray for them. He wants you to be still a godly person and a good person, even though they did do you wrong. He still wants you to be that beautiful, loving soul that he created. He doesn't want you to be tarnished with sin or bitterness or anything like that. He wants you to continue moving forward, continue healing, continue working on yourself, continue trusting God and allowing God to take care of the people who didn't take care of you and the people who did you wrong. And obviously he wants to make you more like him. So even after you've been in the dark, even after you've been exposed in the sin and things been brought to light, God's going to work through it to get it to work in your favor to where, you'll still be blessed and everything, but it's a process. Like you still have to put in the work and the effort and the time and the energy. You still have to show up for yourself. You have to show up for God. Guys, I'm telling you, this forgiveness thing, it pays off. It really does, because that's what allows you to really have the freedom to live your life as if you never been raped. Because God is on your side, and if he's on your side, who can be against you? No one. And if God's in the business of forgiveness and he's in the business of renewing your mindset, he can help you with your PTSD. He can help you with your anxiety, your depression, your anxious thoughts. He can help you with all of that. But the only way that you are truly going to move forward is you and you alone have to make that decision to not just trust God, but to also forgive yourself and forgive your rapist. It's not easy, and it's not the normal logical thinking that we do in this society, and that's why a lot of you guys may not agree with me, and you might think I'm backwards, and you know what? I'd rather be backwards, because last time I checked, I sleep really well at night. There's like so many times I have zero nightmares of when I've been raped. Like, I don't think on that stuff. That stuff doesn't haunt me. It doesn't taunt me. It doesn't ruin my day. I'm not breaking down in tears. I'm not holding on to the past. I'm not holding on to bitterness. So if you want to get to that level of healing and that level of freedom, take this step. Start this step. You may not complete it right away, but be in the process. Be willing. Be open to what God wants to do in your life and to bring on that healing and that, through forgiveness. Not just yourself, but your rapist. And God will do the rest. So I love you guys. I really pray for each and every one of you that this will benefit you, that you will grasp this and that it will, you'll put it into practice and implement it and put it into play, in your everyday life. Like, I really do pray that God shows up in a mighty way in your life. I pray that this channel blesses you, and that if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always email me. You can drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this. Even if you don't like it, it's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. So, but like I said, I love you guys. I definitely wanted to get this message out. It's super important. Like I said, hit that like button if you liked it, and if you didn't, well, sorry. Like, I'm still having to give these messages out. And also, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss anything. All right? I love you guys. This is Miranda Hughes, and don't forget to walk in your worth. Bye, guys.